You gave her everything. You started prioritizing her. She still wasn't happy. In fact, she gradually started losing attraction for you. The sex stopped being as good. She didn't have that same tone in her voice that she once did when she was talking to you. And you left there thinking, what happened? In this video, we're going to discuss a controversial piece of advice that this porn star has when it comes to pleasuring women. And it might be the thing that gains back the respect from the girl that you're with. My name is Les Thomas. I've spent the last 7 years traveling the world helping guys get the girl. And what I realized is that that's the easy part. Keeping her attracted to you, keeping that fire between you and her while also maintaining that masculine-feminine dynamic, that's the hard part. That's where the real game begins, and that's what these videos are about. What I'm going to discuss today, most men have never heard of this. And then on top of that, even if they have heard of it, they don't understand why it works. In this video, I'm going to explain what this piece of controversial advice is, what happens when you implement it, and then a fundamental piece of deep female psychology explaining exactly why it works so that you can use it to your advantage in your relationship. So what is the mindset? Sterling Cooper says, when you are getting down and dirty with a girl, make sure that you are having a good time. And in by doing so, she will too. So in essence, you prioritize your pleasure first. How does this work in a relationship? You put yourself first. Now you may be thinking, that sounds selfish. It sounds like you're neglecting her. It's got nothing to do with neglecting what she wants, but everything to do with appealing to her deep psychological needs. Let me explain why with an analogy. Women are like boats, men are like islands. What I mean by this is that men build their island is their reality. And women are like boats. They go from island to island, and then when they find an island they like, they stick around. So how does this apply to putting yourself first? Focus on you, build your reality, put yourself first. Not only will it attract her, but more importantly than the initial attraction phase, is that it will maintain her attraction for you when you're dating her long term. Because love is not conditional from your woman. It comes from respect, and respect is earned. Now you may be thinking, how do I build the best island? How do I build the most attractive reality? And we'll get to that in just a minute. But first we've got to understand, why do women function like this? And this is where we dive into deep female psychology. Once you understand this, you're going to understand more than 95% of men when it comes to male-female dynamics and the choices that women make when they're dating. Women date across and up the social hierarchy. Men date across and down the social hierarchy. So what do we mean by this? For a woman to maintain her attraction to a man, she doesn't have to be higher value than him. She just needs a few things: to stay loyal, to remain attractive, stay in decent shape, and be respectful. For a man to maintain a woman's attraction, it's far more complex. She has to constantly be looking up to him. She has to be pursuing him like he's a challenge. And a large reason as to why the majority of divorces are initiated by women is because this dynamic between men and women is not maintained. Very much like a kitten and a ball of wool. When you're playing with a kitten and you dangle the ball of wool in front of the kitten and you make it a challenge for the kitten, it remains invested in the game and it stays playing with you. But as soon as you give the ball of wool to the kitten, immediately it just loses interest. This is very easy to maintain at the beginning of a relationship because it's fresh, it's new, you don't know whether it's going to work out or not, which adds to the excitement. So just by the nature of any new relationship, you have the same effect as playing with a ball of wool with a kitten. There's uncertainty, it's a challenge, it's exciting. Now the question is, how do you maintain this dynamic in your long-term relationship with the woman that you're with? You need to level up in every single area of life, specifically social, physical, financial. You need to constantly be working on your social abilities, becoming more confident, becoming more charismatic, becoming more socially apt. You need to constantly be trying to make more money, and you need to constantly be getting in better shape, looking better, and focusing on your appearance. This is one of the best ways to maintain that dynamic in the relationship where she is looking up to you and you are appealing to a deep psychological need to be dating a man who is above her on the social hierarchy. And how do we do all of this? We do this by putting ourselves first, by focusing on ourselves, by building the best reality, the most interesting reality, so that when your woman, the boat, comes into your life, she sees your reality, she stays there because she likes that reality, because you have an interesting life, and then you maintain that reality by focusing on yourself, leveling up in every single area, and that is how you maintain the interest that the kitten has in the ball of wool. You being the ball of wool, your woman being the kitten. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.